you for joining us. I'm Joy.
And I'm Laura.
And this is The Witches of Letters, a supernatural rewatch podcast.
Every week, we will dive in with hot takes and fresh reactions as we make our way through every single episode. I'm Joy, and I've seen every episode. I'm a returning fan. I have a degree in film. I'm an author and a screenwriter and a real-life practicing witch with a focus in folklore. I'm very excited to dive back into one of my favorite TV shows and give you some real breakdowns and reactions that you won't have heard before through the unique lens of a fan who is actually into the occult. And my lovely co-host is my friend Laura. Laura is a total supernatural virgin. She is going to be watching the show with us, and we will all get to experience the show again for the very first time through her eyes. Laura also reads tarot and has an interest in witchy things. She has a degree in costume design, and I'm looking forward to hearing all about all of the plot. She's not going to know why that's funny, but you will. I'm really looking forward to getting to the point in the show where she understands the name of the podcast. It's pretty witty, if I do say so myself. This is our first episode, a kind of prequel to episode 1, where we are going to introduce ourselves to you, have some fun, and play some games before episode 1. So since Laura is our precious unspoiled baby, we are going to have some fun with her, and I am going for the jugular. Laura, tell the people what you think supernatural fan fiction is like. How filthy do you think that it gets?
Hi, Joy. Well, as you said, I have got no frame of reference at all going into the show. So I really don't have any idea, but I know that there are lots of thirst traps around of Dean because you've sent them to me.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm guessing it does get pretty racy. Yeah, and fan fiction in general does get a little bit dirty. So
it gets kind of wild, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that it's going to be on the racier side.
I'm dying trying to hold back all the knowledge that I have here, and I just feel like everyone who is aware is going to be like absolutely laughing so hard. So, can you give us a rating on a scale of 1 to 10? How far you think the envelope will get pushed within this fanfic?
Probably all the way, I would say. So, like a 9 or a 10.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think what would be really fun is at some point in some insert or some episode, we need to have you like having read like a section of it and then come back in and give us your thoughts and feelings on it, because you have literally no idea. So I feel like that would be something that our listeners would be deeply entertained by. I know I would be. I feel like this is a good plan.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Okay, so my next question is, how are you with horror and scary stuff? Like, do you jump scare easily? Will I need to stay up with you after scary episodes? Can we look forward to some unhinged screaming from you?
Yeah, I am a big horror fan. I do scare pretty easily, I would say, especially with kind of visual media. I'm more of a fan of horror books. I'm kind of scaring myself with the visuals, but if it's films and TV, I do get scared quite easily. I'm not a screamer though. I'm a hider. So I will
be like you diving behind the sofa.
No, not behind the sofa. I'll be hiding behind a cushion, and I'll be peeking through my fingers at the
we
the
should
screen.
add a counter to our episodes, like how many times you hid behind the sofa, how many times you cowered under the pillows. We can rate it by pillows or couch sides. That's
I would
definitely
definitely
something we need to add. Yeah.
One of my best friends is a horror fan too, and she is the screamer. So when we watch films together, she will scream, and I will jump twice. I will jump at the jump scare, and then I will jump when she screams, like a split second later.
You have her triggering another jump scare for you.
Yeah. So, and I'm always like, "What? Should these with you?" Because I jumped twice. But yeah, it's just really fun. I'm not actually that much of a massive fan of jump scares, in all honesty, if they're just kind of used as the only tactic to scare an audience,
right.
Which is probably why I like horror books. But yeah, it's kind of like, I enjoy a jump scare if it's done well.
I think you're gonna really enjoy this series. I definitely think there are going to be times when you're going to be hiding behind some cushions. But I think that just adds to the fun. Okay, so do you think you are going to be a Sam girl or a Dean girl?
Okay, so I've been thinking about this one because As you know, like last week sometime, we pulled tarot cards about this question, and you got a card that was had both of them on it, and
Mhm.
I'm convinced that it will probably be both of them, which I know is a bit of a cop out answer, but I'm not sure what the characters are like yet. So just from appearances is all I can go on at the moment, and they're both very attractive guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it could be both, but it will depend on their personalities. Like, are either of them like funny? Because that's the big thing for me.
I mean, throughout the show, comedy is a whole thing. So like they're pretty sort of like typical all-American kind of guys. So like there's not
Uh,
like it's not obvious. Well, there is obvious humor. There's obvious humor. There's some camp humor thrown into the show. But it's here and there because the show in and of itself, I would say, does tend to be more gritty, does tend to be more in the kind of like horror / supernatural sort of genre.
okay,
Um, so but they do crack jokes, and it is pretty
yeah,
there's also some like hidden humor that if you are a fan of some of the other things, you get kind of like an Easter egg. So there'll be like some Easter egg jokes too, which I really like. It's a very layered experience, I feel like.
yeah, okay. Um, are either of them kind of more like sensitive at all? Like rather than
Sam.
kind of okay,
Sam is sensitive and kind and intelligent. And Dean is
okay,
more like brooding, protective, gritty.
okay. So it might be for personality wise. Then well, brooding. I don't know. It's both. It's both. It's both. Because I like this. When I'm probably going to like both of them because I am attracted to a brooding man, but
Yeah.
also like a kind of more
To me,
sensitive guy
Sam
that's
also broods. Here's the thing. So if you lean more towards the sensitive types, then I think you'll lean more towards Sam. So if during watching Buffy, you gravitated more towards like Xander for
oh, I was an
being
angel girl with Buffy. I was an
okay,
angel
well,
girl.
see, there this makes me think you're gonna lean Dean. I feel like you're
Okay.
gonna lean Dean. Um, I feel like I thought initially that I would have biased you by sending you all of the Dean Thirst Trap compilations, which I know made you excited to watch the series
Hmm.
because, good God, the living art that is Dean Winchester. Okay, I know I'm right. I'm not even gonna say I'm right because I'm right. Um, but I am so excited to get you into the series and get an idea of like who you're the most obsessed with.
Okay. Yeah. I think now might be a good time just for me to say to everyone that because I haven't seen this before, and I'm also a big fan of Gilmore Girls, I keep
Oh,
thinking whenever Joy
Dean?
says Dean, I'm always thinking of Jared Padalecki because he
Yeah,
is Dean to me in Gilmore Girls. So
yeah.
I have to keep reminding myself that he is not Dean, he is Sam. So I'm gonna probably get a bit confused to start with. I'm
I
just putting
feel
that in there
like
now.
all of us who watched the series as it aired, who were also Gilmore Girls fans because it went one and then the other, um, also had the same drama for the first sort of like 3 episodes, being like, "No, what do you mean? What do you mean he's not Dean? This is wrong." And then you sort of adjust and it's okay, but I understand what you're saying. It will be hilarious if like we're doing the recap of the episode and you're like, "Dean, I mean Sam."
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that probably will happen. To start with.
That's fine. That'll be funny. We should add a game on, like for misnaming the character, take a shot or something. That could become very hilarious.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I keep calling him not Dean at the moment, don't I? So he's
you do.
like
He's the not
not
Dean, the
Dean.
undean.
There's Dean and not Dean.
Not Dean. Okay. We also have a monster of the week aspect to our show and a villain hot or not rating. So I gotta ask you, who is your favorite monster and who do you think is the hottest villain of all time?
Okay, so I don't know if I've got a hottest villain of all time, but I like vampires. Which I know you'd like vampires as well.
I
So I
do.
like vampires as a monster in horror things. Especially, I was a fan of True Blood and Alexander Skarsgård as a vampire in particular. Um,
Oh, yes.
yeah. I really like Mads Mikkelsen's version of Hannibal as well. He's like really kind of how he comes across as being really evil, but he's also kind of really cute at the same time. So I do like. I don't know if he classes as a monster or not. I like slasher style horror films, so things like Michael Myers and like Ghostface. I like those kinds of
Nice.
villains, which I'm not expecting to kind of show up in here. But zombies! I quite like zombie stuff.
I am so terrified of zombie things.
Yeah,
Both Nick and Carly, you guys won't know who Nick and Carly are. So, well, some of you will. Nick is my husband, gorgeous, amazing, lovely man, also loves horror films. Carly is my best friend, gorgeous, amazing human, also loves horror films. Okay. They both live and die for zombie horror. I, on the other hand, I like horror. I love horror even. I have always had a weakness for zombies. They terrify me. So I was like, no, thanks, I'm good. And then they were like, you should really watch The Last of Us. The Last of Us is so good. There's no
yeah, it's
zombies in
good.
it, Joy. And I was like, I swear to you, I was like, I don't know how many minutes into this episode when I was like, excuse me, what do you mean? There are no zombies. You lied to me. And I'm like talking to both of them simultaneously, being like, you lied. Look at this. What's happening here? What do you call that? And then Nick makes the excuse of like, oh, but they're not the same. And I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to spoiler it just in case you guys haven't watched The Last of Us yet. Obviously, you should do that immediately.
Yeah, I agree.
It's insanely good. It's so good that it has broken me of my fear of zombies. And I can now watch zombie stuff. So that's how good it is.
It's fast-moving zombies. Fast-moving zombies are scary. Slow-moving zombies are funny.
I can't remember what I watched. I love Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Right? And the Simon Pegg is a total genius. But like the gore in that movie is so spot on that I was watching it and I was loving it because I'm a huge Simon Pegg, Nick Frost duo combo fan. But I was like watching it like hiding behind my sofa through my fingers, clinging to my then boyfriend. Like absolutely like just I couldn't eat while I was watching it. The gore was too solid for that. I was just like, oh, I don't think I can eat food right now.
No.
But yeah, I love that. But then Dawn of the Dead with the fast zombies, I was like, what absolute fucking horrible human invented this? Like who thought of this? And obviously it's genius, okay? And I don't really mean that, you guys. But it was so scary to see fast zombies because from the beginning, from like, Barbara, they're coming to get you, Barbara. Like the beginning from black and white films, we've always conceptualized zombies as being really slow moving. And the terror is that whatever you do, you can't really stop them. Like they're already dead. What are you going to do? And then the creative solutions of like, how do you deal with that? But fast zombies really broke my brain the first time I saw it. I think that's probably, in terms of horror that I've seen, the thing that's probably impacted me the most was watching Dawn of the Dead.
It's 28 Days Later as well. The zombies in that, because they're like the rage zombies. They really scared me.
That was also too much. They're doing too much, you guys. That was too scary. I might actually need to rewatch it at some point to just test how good I am now at watching zombie films to see whether I can take it or not. But to return to the topic.
Yeah, who are your favorite monsters?
My favorite monster is the Bride of Frankenstein. I love she's made from lightning, literal lightning, and there's this big, beautiful storm cloud of her hair. I love the look of the creature. She's amazing. I feel like she has a Lilith kind of feminist character in that she was made for the pleasure of two men. So she was made for Dr. Frankenstein so that he can gain freedom from the creature, and Frankenstein, or the creature, right? Because he's lonely. So in the movie version, which the bride only exists in the movie, spoiler for you guys who haven't read the book, which you should read Frankenstein. Everybody should read Frankenstein. She has this instant and instinctual defiance to this. And Frankenstein is made really sympathetic to us, as he is in the book. It's done really differently. It's done really beautifully, in my opinion, because you see that his appearance is what he's judged by initially every time someone sees him first, and that his natural reactions are not violent. He's actually quite a sweet, shy kind of a person. that because he's perceived as monstrous, he eventually becomes monstrous. And
Hmm.
so no one wants to be with him. So the bride is made for him, but she knows that that's not what she wants immediately. And it just sort of feels like you have Lilith or you have Eve, and Lilith is the one who says, no thanks, Adam. I do not
Yeah.
care for this at all. And I think she's become a kind of feminist icon in certain conversations. And I feel like the bride falls into that because she immediately defies her creator. She immediately defies the patriarchal order that she was set into. And I love that. I'm also, in terms of hot villains, I'm madly in love with Dracula. If Dracula ever rocked up and I had to fight Dracula, I'd be doomed. I'd just be like, I would like to be the bride. You can't see me. I am exposing my neck right now. Very like flirting with Dracula. I would be doomed. Dracula is so sexy to me.
Yeah.
I love him so much. He just in all versions, but particularly I have crossed oceans of time to be with you. How could you not? How could you not? How could you not? I just, I am actually writing a screenplay where I have cast Ben Barnes, inspired by his role as the Darkling, as Dracula. And I'm doing the retelling that I've always wanted to see. I just feel like in a lot of the more modern versions, we've come really close, but specifically with the more recent ones, they've kind of come close, but then they've just gone really far off into left field. And I'm like, what are you doing? So I decided to fix it. So that's what I'm going to do there.
That sounds amazing.
I say Ben Barnes or bust. Like, just picture the Darkling, but the Darkling is Dracula, where Dracula finally gets to be the hero of the movie. He will have villainous elements, but he is going to get the girl at the end. And it's going to be amazing. I'm very proud of it. I have the whole outline, and I feel like you guys are going to love it.
Sounds good.
So digging a little deeper into our introduction and getting to know you, what are you scared of? Because so much of Supernatural is about facing our own worst fears and going up against these impossible odds. So what is it that scares you, Laura?
Okay, I've got some weird fears. My biggest fear is a really irrational one, which is ventriloquist dummies. In particular, the old style ones. Yeah, with the mouth that goes up and down. And Slappy,
Yeah.
I swear it is Slappy from Goosebumps that gave me that fear. And that was just from reading it and the cover, the picture of him on the cover, because the series didn't come out until I didn't really kind of get into the series. I'd kind of gone off Goosebumps by then. And that was like the original 90s series.
Yeah.
But ventriloquist dummies, dolls in general, really, puppets in general. I'm not really scared of ventriloquists themselves. It is just those old-fashioned dummies. Like if they're an animal or something, it's okay. But yeah, dolls, puppets, clowns. I'm scared of clowns. Oh no!
Let the record reflect. She has said clowns. Those of you who have watched the show know why this is so funny.
Oh no! Is there going to be loads of clowns? I don't mind the odd clown.
I just can't wait. There are some episodes, girl, where we are going to get a lot of good reactions out of you. That's all I can say about that.
Hiding behind my sofa. Creepy children. Are there any creepy children? Creepy children creep me out.
Yeah.
But as far as like bugs and stuff go, spiders and wasps.
Yep. There is definitely also a bug episode. And I struggle with it so much because for me it is bugs. Like the scene in the Craft where you have like all of the bugs, the snakes, not as much of an issue for me. Like I am originally from Florida. I have grown up with snakes everywhere. It's fine. But the bugs, no. Like I can't remember what you call it, but I have the phobia of cockroaches.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't handle it. Like movies mentioning it, the emoji, a picture, I'm done. Like I am dead. I am gone. Like I guess that demons are scary also, but for me, the cockroaches are the one.
See, I've never seen a cockroach in real life, so I don't know if I'd be scared of them.
I know it's the most common phobia. Like everyone knows about arachnophobia, but the cockroach one is so much more common. Like it is the number one. Which I feel like is fair because they have teeth in their stomachs. They can survive without their head for like, I think it's like 2 weeks or something. They can survive a nuclear blast. Like extra teeth in your stomach. That's not necessary.
That's
It's
No, that's
not
weird.
necessary. They're literally nightmare creatures. And I just, they carry diseases. They smell disgusting. No, it's a no for me. It's a no. It's a no. Fun fact, I did actually work in a haunted as fuck store that turned out to be demonically fucked up.
Oh God.
Wherein I I turned up and everything seemed pretty normal. But then things just got a little bit weirder and a little bit weirder. And the store that I worked in during World War II was a like a hospital for people. They also had POWs there, so there were also like war criminals there who were in distress, dying, had horrible woundings because the injuries that were treated there were not minor. So there's a lot of pain and suffering in the history of the building itself, and it has this reputation for being very haunted. And I go to work and the girls are joking about this ghost that they call Bob. And they're like, "Do you believe in ghosts?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, I believe in ghosts." And they're like, "Do you believe in Bob?" And I'm like, "This is a really strange line of questioning." And I was like, "I don't know. I take things on a basis where I'm skeptical default.
Yeah.
And then when I see things and I experience things, I'm like, okay, cool, that's real." And so I haven't experienced Bob yet. So I guess I don't know. And they're like, "Oh, he's not going to like that." And I was like, this is getting very creepy very fast.
What? I'd be like, who is Bob? Who is Bob? Tell me now.
So Bob, well, we're going to get to that, my friend. So Bob, they tell me, is this spirit that haunts the store that can be really spooky and kind of mean, but they act like he's like this prankster, trickster sort of situation. But then it gets a little culty. And when I say stuff like, "I don't know about if I believe in Bob," they're like, "You shouldn't have done that. He's going to be mad at you." And I start going, well, fuck. This is fucking weird as fuck. Because they started acting a little influenced is the best way I can describe it. And they would be doing things like they would be sending me to go dark places by myself, which the part that was the most haunted, like the store itself was fine. The part that was super fucking haunted was you would go down into the cellar of the building, which is the oldest part of the building. And where I was working in a fashion outlet. So my responsibility was going down to get these racks of shoes to bring up for customers. And when I tell you it was like the set of a horror movie, it's just concrete everywhere with these rickety ladders and those like fluorescent strip lights that come on and go off in like a row where it's like one light and then another light.
Yeah.
This is the atmosphere that I'm in. And stuff started happening. Like, so the first couple of days, I'm down in the break room and I'm saying, "I don't know about Bob." And they're like, "He's not going to like that." And then that day, I go to put my bag away and our staff lockers go in like a row, like a high school. So the locker that's above me is open. And there's a couple of other lockers that are open because they're just not in use. Like, we have so many staff lockers and like 3 people that work there. So I'm putting my stuff down and I bend down. And as I bend down, the locker that is above my head by itself slams shut like it would have decapitated me if I was still standing upright. And I freak the hell out because I am by myself. There is no one else there. There's no way, you can't like fake that. You can't spring load a locker. Like, I looked for everything too. Like, I was terrified, but I did check because I was like, maybe these people are pranking me. Like, maybe this is a prank. And I really wanted to believe that. And I look everywhere and there's nothing. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, I don't believe in demons, but this is a demon. I don't even think this is a ghost anymore. I'm like, this is a demon. So,
or at least like a poltergeist.
Yeah. Like, I go up the ladder and the lights get turned off and I'm in the dark. And then I feel like the ladder being pulled, like he's trying to drop me on the concrete.
Oh, no.
And that is so high up and no one can hear you down there because the cellar is so far under the building. Like, it was terrifying. And in the end, what I did was I asked my grandmother to come and protect me. So my grandmother had passed. And I remember being terrified. And I remember being in the dark at the top of the ladder. Because, like, my family, we all believe in spirits and ghosts and stuff. Like, we're Southern, but we're raised along, like, the Appalachian kind of area. So folk traditions and all kinds of stuff. So, like, my mom brought us up with stories of, like, she saw her granddaddy he had passed. She didn't know. She saw him clear as day in her room. He came to say goodnight to her, and she just thought he was visiting. And then the next day, she found out that he had passed, and
Mhm.
she was like, "Oh, he came to say goodbye to me." So these things have been really normalized for me. Um, and she taught us like how to protect our energy and how to deal with things if things got like out of whack. So I was doing all of that, and it was having an effect, but it wasn't making it go away. Like I wasn't able to really push him away and defend myself in the way that I always had been able to do before. And that was why I was thinking like this is something more than just like an
Yeah.
angry ghost. And then
Yeah.
so I call on my grandmother because I literally thought I was going to die. And I feel my grandmother's energy just surround me, and I can smell cigarettes. She used to chain smoke. I can smell cigarettes. And
Yeah.
then I just like the sensation that I had was that Bob ran for his afterlife because my grandmama was like, I know you did not come from my grandchild, you know?
Oh.
And after that, I was fine. But the people that were there that were affected kept getting worse. Like they started bullying me low key. Like just the environment got worse. So I quit in the middle of our busiest season. I walked out and I was like, fuck you very much.
Well, yeah, I don't
Um,
blame you.
so that was hilarious revenge for me personally. But then afterwards, my friend Carly and her friend had a supernatural investigation type podcast. And I told her about Bob. And we had seen, we'd watched Michael Myers, the original Halloween movie. And there's that weird moment, okay, where Lori sees her friend Bob. He's dead. But for some reason, her voice comes out so strange. She's like, Bob? Bob? So Carly jokingly started saying Bob when she was talking about Bob.
Oh,
And apparently, just saying his name is enough because then her friend's house, the fire alarm started going off. The session that they were recording, the audio got all weird and distorted.
oh,
And
that's
then stuff
creepy.
started getting messed with in her, like everything went really dark and gross and scary. So she ended up having to do a whole banishing situation. Um,
Yeah.
and and now we're careful ish when we bring this subject up. So audience, we are professionals. Don't try this at home. Do not mess around with this because this guy is not he's not a friendly guy. Um, but yeah, that is my true real life. I don't believe in demons, but this one time I did experience.
Yeah, it sounds. But you have just been saying his name a lot as well, by the way.
We'll see. I mean, I feel like I have the banishment down. I just be like, Grandmama, Grandmama, and then I'm good.
Email us if you have experienced anything after Joy kept saying his name. I'm not even going to
Please
say it.
do. Please do. I want to know. Do you have any supernatural experiences?
Not really. I have a couple of stories, but I'm not sure if they. Well, one I think is real. The other one I can't remember if it was a dream or not. And that one was similar to you were saying about like grandparents and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember my granddad, my great granddad, even when he died. I have a memory of him sitting at the end of my bed, but I
Oh,
can't remember if that's a dream or not. I can't remember if it was a dream and that happened, or if it was real. But I remember I've talked about it with my mum before. But I think even if it was a dream, it could still have been, still a visitation.
well, yeah, I absolutely believe that spirits can visit us in our dreams.
Yeah,
And we could also, if you wanted to, doesn't have to be on the episode, but we could pull cards about it and
yeah.
be like, Granddaddy, was that you? How are you
This was
doing?
a long time ago now because I can't remember how old I was, but probably about 14 or something. Um,
Yeah.
But then at work, I always joke that where there's a building at work that I used to work in quite a lot. And I used to joke that there was a ghost in there because it always felt really, really cold in the cupboard in the room.
Okay.
And then one day I was walking towards that building. I'd got to work, I'd parked my car, I was walking towards the building, and it was quite windy. But the door of the building just opened as I walked up to it. I was probably about 20 feet away, and it was a really heavy door. It was one of those doors where you had to like yank it to open it. It was a really heavy door, and I don't think the wind could have opened it. That's how other people kind of rationalized it, but I don't think that it was the wind.
Yeah, I mean, that would have to be such a specific angle and such an amount of force. And you would assume that if that was physically possible for the years that you have worked there, that it would have been witnessed happening
Yeah.
at, multiple times. So when the wind hits this particular speed, that door gets flung open.
Yeah. So
when that's not the case, then you go, this could be something spooky, because how do we explain that?
Yeah. But other people that I worked with were like, oh no, it's just the wind. But anytime anything would happen that was weird, I'd be like, oh, it's the ghost.
It's the ghost. Yeah, I like that. I love also pulling cards for spooky stuff. So I'm always up for pulling cards about spooky stuff. So also we have listener stories where you have something strange and unexplained that happened to you, and you would like me or both of us to pull cards for you about it, to try to dig into it. I love doing that, and I would be delighted to do that for you. That's so much fun. So much fun.
And we have some spooky decks that we can use, so that's good.
Yeah, we do. I actually have the official tarot deck for the show. So I have the Supernatural Tarot. And Laura has is it the Horror Tarot?
Yeah, I've got the horror tarot. Yeah. I haven't got the Supernatural one because I don't want any spoilers at the moment.
Yeah, we can't tell her anything, you guys. We have to keep her precious and sheltered, because how else will we live our best lives rewatching the show like we're watching it for the very first time if we let her know stuff in advance? We can't do that. We have to keep her, in the dark, as it were.
I feel like that's going to be quite difficult. I'm really trying. I haven't found any spoilers yet. Literally all I know, or all I think I know, is that there's two brothers whose dad has gone missing and they're looking for him. That's literally all I know, and I don't even know if that's
hunting
true.
Trip, and he hasn't been home in a few days.
That's literally all I know. And I'm trying to, as we watch the episodes, I'm a big IMDb fan, so I'll probably be trawling through the IMDb for that episode once we've watched them. Because I like all the kind of knowing behind the scenes things and like Easter eggs and stuff like that. So but I don't know anything.
I am so excited. I am really excited for experiencing it again through fresh eyes. I love this series. I particularly love the first few seasons though, and I am wildly excited to be able to experience that again for the first time as you're watching it and getting so excited and falling in love with the characters, or terrified. I love that. I'm gonna be living my best life.
I feel like I'm gonna like it. It's one of those shows where, when did it come out? 2006 or something?
Something like that. It was a while ago. It was a while ago.
So it's 17, 18 years ago. And it's one of those things where I've always been like, oh yeah, Supernatural, I'll watch that at some point. And then 17 years later, and I still haven't seen it. But I've always meant to. I've always meant to, and I like Monster of the Week shows, and I like scary things. So I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like I will like it.
I think you're gonna love it. I really do. I think you're gonna absolutely love it. I think we all have our favorite episodes. We all have our favorite seasons and storylines, and I'm really excited to dig in and find out what yours are gonna be.
Yeah. So,
do you have any other questions or any ideas to throw in for us?
Not really, not at this point, because like I said, that's all I know. All I know is that they're looking for their dad, and something must have happened to him, and I'm guessing some sort of monster or supernatural event has occurred.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so I feel
maybe we could do predictions later, maybe once I've watched some episodes.
Yeah, I was gonna say we will do predictions. We will do fun stuff. I'm gonna have her rate the motels that they stay in, because fans will know there's a very particular kind of motel that they stay in. So we're gonna have monster counters, we're gonna have hot villains, we're gonna have Dean or Sam thirst trap moments. If there was a thirst trap in the episode, you better believe that we are gonna talk about it. We're gonna thrive. We're gonna have the most fun. We're gonna have our terror rating, I feel like, is gonna be another really fun one. If you guys have any ideas for us about ways that you want us to hilariously, do you want us to play Smash or Pass? Should we do that for monsters as well? Like, let us know your brilliant ideas for the podcast so that we can implement them. Anything that you want to do, you guys can send us your favorite fan art, the best Dean thirst traps. I might rate those. Like, there might be a section of an episode where you guys need to send us the best like thirst traps that you can find for both of them, or any character really, because there's a lot of hot characters. But we're gonna have to be careful to not spoiler it for Laura. So like, it has to be where we are in the show, if that makes sense to you guys. But if you do ones that are later on, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll save them and I'll put them in a file for when we get there. But we can have votes, we can have a good time, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. I'm really excited.
Me too. I can barely contain myself. I'm like, let's watch episode 1 immediately.
I've been waiting so long to actually watch the first episode, so it's going to have to be soon.
Yep. We will get on that, you guys. We will get that recorded. And we will put episode 1 out for you soon. We'll let you know when that's dropping. Stay tuned into our socials, because I'm sure we'll announce it on there. And be sure to email us if you have questions, if you have ideas, if you feel like you missed something, you can always let us know. You can always reach out.
Thanks for tuning in. If you liked this episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. We would be very grateful. And if you know someone who would enjoy it, please share.
You can find us on Instagram at the Witches of Letters podcast, or you can email us at thewitchesofletters@gmail.com.
Until next time, stay safe out there, have each other's backs, and always keep fighting.